Listen, man, welcome to the Free Gems Podcast, man. It's episode 79. You know what I'm saying? You got Big Jesus here, K-Singles across the table right now. You know what I'm saying? We got an illustrious special guest for y'all.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, man, we got Andre Myrie, a.k.a. Andre almost 3K
in the building.
Yes, sir.
Almost 3K in the building.
Big round of applause for my brother. Man, thank you so much for pulling up.
Thank you for coming.
No, we greatly appreciate you, man. For people who don't know exactly who you are, you know what I'm saying? I'm a super fan of just the field you're in. So go ahead and tell the people a little bit about yourself.
So I'm Jamaican.
Okay.
I grew up in Jersey my whole life.
Okay, word.
Grew up in Englewood, went to Catholic school in Englewood for a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Then Teaneck.
Yep.
I graduated from Paramus High.
Word.
All right, so I'm a Jersey boy.
Yeah, you were about to say you North Jersey. We a specific area in Jersey.
Yeah. Because Central. I mean, it's South Jersey.
Yeah.
North Jersey.
It's North Jersey and Delaware.
And then it's like New York City. That's Bergen County. Bergen County's the sixth borough.
Yeah. That's a fact though.
Yeah, for real. Like, that's what it really is out there.
Fucking fact.
But I mean, tell the people a little bit about your about how you ended up getting into comedy and stuff.
So I'm a comedian.
Right.
All right. So that's a crazy stories. I was personal training for like years.
Okay.
I was dealing with this woman. She was married. I was
dealing with this woman.
Yeah, I was dealing with this woman. She was like 4 years, and like right before the pandemic was like the end of 2019, early 2020. Like I started doing a podcast with my boy Tariq.
Yeah.
Remember whole Jamaicans, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So we was rocking the pod, and he was like in my ear, like, "Yo, bro, you funny as hell. This shit's different for you. You should get on stage." I never thought about doing stand up in my life, but I've always been a stand up fan.
Yeah, right. Same here. I'm a stand-up connoisseur.
Yeah, same. But I never thought about ever I never thought I could grasp getting on stage doing that. So once we started doing the pod, we started to pop. Then he got a girlfriend who became his fiance, who became his wife. So you know, like, when you doing this type of shit, it's really difficult to manage a relationship.
Yeah, I can only imagine. And the things you can speak about are so limited. So I can imagine.
I got a girlfriend now, and like I get yelled at all the time because like I don't really filter myself.
At
all.
And I know I see a lot of your skits. It's like the way you be bobbing with some real shit. I'm like, fuck, I hate to be the sound of misogynist, but this is true. Like, he got some great fucking points.
So so right before the pandemic hit, my best friend at the time, his name is Brian Gilbert, committed suicide.
Yeah,
I remember that.
My condolences. Wow.
Yeah,
So you have that. Then 3 weeks later, we locked in the house.
Damn.
I told you I was dealing with a married woman. Like, I was really dealing with her.
AKA, she was going to work
that was my
at
girl,
Andre's
bro.
house.
Yeah,
she's putting in overtime.
That was legit my girl.
House.
She had a husband. That was my girl.
Oh my god.
You feel me?
Hey, we gotta play a role. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? So, son, I'm about to do a half hour on that entire story.
That'd be fire.
It's called John Redcorn.
Oh yes. So you gonna have a special, like a 30-minute bit on that?
30-minute. Yeah. So it's like, if you ever seen I don't really talk about relationships like that.
Right.
Because it's to me, it's low hanging fruit. A lot of people do it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have been like, yo, bro, the conversations we have about relationships, your perspective is completely unique. You have to find a way to do that. So this is the best way I could find about doing it, because that relationship's how I learned the most about myself.
Right.
So she stopped talking to me because, you know, she home with her husband.
Right. No texting. No.
I'm at home trying to drink myself into a coma because I'm like damn near depressed. Like, my boy,
of course,
that's my best friend. It's like,
wow.
Like, that's a nigga who, like, that's the most confident nigga I've ever met in my life.
Damn.
You know what I mean? So it's like, that's the person who taught me how to be confident.
And to see it
and to see him end that way.
It confuses everything.
So at that point, and you remember everybody we was in the pandemic just trying to drink ourselves.
Yeah, I went vegan and shit. I did a lot.
Nigga, I learned to bake.
Niggas are in a crib crocheting and shit.
Bro, now I worked twice time to get a CDL, nigga. What the fuck was I doing?
I was in the best shape of my life.
I
was 185. Yeah, because you couldn't lift.
Jailhouse.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I was like 185 pounds, like shredded during the pandy, right? And then so then. I remember, and the same married chick, she also like was like, nah, you should do stand up. She's like, if you do stand up, you're gonna become a star.
Wow.
She was like, straight up. So right before, for my birthday, she bought me a record player. Wow. Right, and then she bought me Eddie Murphy's first vinyl.
Wow, that's dope.
Yeah, no, it's really my girl.
I'm about to say that's some, that was some old head classic shit to even do.
I could do this shit because I broke this shit down on my current girlfriend now.
Yeah,
because she know this shit is coming. So I was like, you know, I'm gonna talk about this.
Yes, but that's good. That's
I have to. Yeah,
you damage control.
Right.
That's damage control right there.
Crazy?
Yeah, damage control.
So like I just started like putting my thoughts out just on Instagram. Everybody's like, you funny. I did a couple Zoom shows.
Wow.
My first time ever doing comedy was via Zoom.
That's crazy.
So
that is a pandemic thing for sure.
We had like 40 people on Zoom. There was like 2 people in studio with me. And I just told my jokes, which in hindsight really helped because I didn't have the luxury of knowing what getting laughs and what not getting. I couldn't know if the shit was funny. I just had to tell my shit and laugh at my own shit. Like
that's a very good perspective to think about.
You know
it.
I mean?
Yeah, because that'd be a confident
crowd
killer
to feed off of, or
no. So by the first time I ever got on stage was April 17th, 2021.
Wow. A whole year later.
Broadway Comedy Club.
Okay.
It was a industry room, sold out.
How'd you? Damn. Hold on.
Yeah.
How did you even get to that?
So what happened is after I did my second Zoom show, right? I sat with a good friend of mine. Actually, no, I didn't sit with him yet. I'm moving ahead. So I'm like, yo, I gotta, like, the world started to open back up a little bit. You feel me? Only place, because you remember during the pandemic, only place I was open was strip clubs.
Literally.
You know what I mean? Strip clubs. That's what, strip clubs the reason why I didn't think the pandemic was real. Because them hoes didn't miss.
Not a beat. This is in Atlanta.
It's like, none of y'all getting sick. There's different niggas here every week.
With dirty ass money, they let that shit go.
So, I was in a strip club and funny enough, I was running shows in the strip club too.
Oh, you was actually, what you mean running shows? Like
I was doing
stand-up?
Yeah, stand-up.
In the strip club?
In the strip club.
I've heard of that before.
That's different.
Flamingos in
Hackensack, right?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. I didn't even know.
Because the head bouncer, that's my man. I used to bounce.
Hey, shit, you was doing a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember you used to bounce.
You really Jamaican, nigga. That's the most Jamaican thing you said so far.
That's crazy. Hella jobs, bro.
Yeah, that's dope.
So I used to bounce. So I knew him. So like they was running the strip club shows in the outdoor tent. So I was like, yo, let me put shows here together.
Yeah.
So rewind, went to first time, did industry room, and I did well too. I didn't know how to tell jokes, but the guy, the head booker, he was like, is this your first time doing stand up on stage? I was like, yeah, it's my first time ever on stage. He was like,
good luck.
No. He was like, you're very natural. You have great stage presence. I just didn't know how to tell jokes.
Right.
Yeah.
I was just he was like, your ideas are really, really crazy. Really, really smart. But I didn't know how to structure jokes. So I sat with my boy, Malcolm Lee, another comic, doing it for like 8-9 years, from Teaneck, also another Teaneck native. And I sat with him for an hour and he like taught me how to structure jokes. And the rest was history.
Wow.
Like after that, it just became, once I figured out how to structure jokes, because during the pandemic, all I did was watch high level comedy for 8-9 hours straight a day.
Literally.
And what I figured out was these guys all operate in patterns.
Something I noticed too.
Everything is
for sure.
It's rules of 3. It's certain pauses, dramatic pauses. Those little things like
inflections and stuff.
All comics do it.
There's a rhythm to it.
It's just that every comic story is different. Everybody's cadence is different. But those little techniques were very, very consistent. So once I figured that out and then knew how to structure jokes, I was just like, oh shit. Because like as a comic, the way to get on stage is to have a bunch of material. Right. Fast forward, I did my first special a year and some change in. I headlined 9 months in.
Damn.
Wow. Headline it. Wow.
That's crazy. But wait, so are you building a following just from these clubs or the Instagram?
So I'll break down how that's been going as well. So when I started doing this shit, I only had like 600 followers.
Right, like everybody else. Right, we all started with nothing.
I really just couldn't, and I had Instagram for years, but I wasn't doing it for that. Even when I was personal training word of mouth.
Right,
So I had a lot of in-home clients, of course, all that type of shit. That's how I was getting it. So figuring out social media was tough for me because I'm not a social media nigga. Like I'm 34 years old.
Right.
So it's like, you know, just sitting in front, like that's just not the era I came up in.
Yeah, nah, for sure.
We
get up and go. Like,
yeah, I like to live life.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm learning that. So the following really came from two things. I was doing my podcast. I stopped doing my podcast. And then there was this white boy, his name was Aaron Berg. Right?
Is that who you doing Street Famous?
Yeah.
NYC? Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to get to that. Street Famous NYC.
Yeah,
So it kind of transpires into that because that's how my following started to really grow.
Yeah.
I met him doing there's these shows called Bringers, right? Where you
Bringers?
have to, so you have to bring 5 people
In order
to be able to perform, right?
Makes sense. Okay.
I like
I like that idea.
Yeah, it's if you do comedy, you fucking hate it.
Okay.
Because because you will literally get 4 people to come, and you have some bookers who are assholes and will not let you get on stage. So they'll pay for their ticket, they'll come to the show, but if you don't have that 5th person, they won't let you perform. Some of them are hard asses. Like that.
Damn. Even if I'm willing to pay for that?
Now you can do that. But like I said, it becomes expensive.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can imagine. Especially there's like 2 drink minimums and stuff in like the clubs, or 2 item minimums.
Nigga, listen, these niggas are extorting us. You
Yeah, for sure.
Extortion.
They getting it all for real.
They're getting it. So I met him at a 5 p.m. Bringer. Right? So it's like not a primetime show, and I guess he was just starting to work back in off of the panty as well. So he was working shit out.
Okay.
So I met him at the show. He was closing the show. I went before him. This was in February. This is one of the best sets I had to that date. I was like 9 months in at that point.
That's crazy though.
Right?
Yeah, that's crazy. That's just talent. Like you just going.
Like I said, I just figured out the pattern. And I put in the work. It's a gift. God, like I'm very spiritual. I just came from church.
Right.
You feel me? So
that's dope.
This is it's a God-given gift, and I know that. So I know it don't only come from me. I'm very, very aware of that. But I do work at this shit nonstop. Right. Like I'm obsessed.
Yeah. That's the most important part, man. It's the hours in the gym.
Anything I've ever done, that's how I do it. If I
You're
do
locked
it,
in. You locked in.
and I have to master it. I can't.
Yeah.
So I killed. And this is what he kind of messed up my head in comedy, because I thought that this is what it was. I thought it was a meritocracy.
Yeah.
I thought you did well, right? And then people saw you be funny, and then you got opportunity. So I did that show Saturday. Monday, I'm on his podcast, right? But Street Famous didn't come to me like 6-7 months after.
Right? Okay.
My following started to come because I did a couple appearances on, because it was called something completely different before. It was called Berg's Base.
Yeah.
So I did a couple of appearances on that podcast, and he was on the Gas Digital. Yeah. At that point.
Yeah, I've seen Gas Digital.
Right. Godfrey on there and everything. So that's where he was. He was under that imprint. Right. He'd actually toured with the owner of Gas Digital. So I was getting the following from there. But if you really want to know how my following went, I had a joke go viral. I only did like 800,000.
Wow. Damn, especially for a joke, that's crazy.
I always joke about, I was like, I actually went viral and there was no butt cheeks in my video. Because
nowadays that's what you need.
That's what you need. I told girls I'm about to start getting strippers and just clap their butt cheeks right next to my right on stage while I'm telling jokes. And then, bro, I'm gonna go off. It's gonna go.
All you need is a dance nowadays. You gonna go viral. But
that's how I got it. Like I literally picked up 4,000 followers off of that joke.
Wow.
Because it was a joke. It was a joke about sexual. I just come out from Jamaica. Right. And the funny thing about I've only told that joke twice.
That's crazy. Listen,
because it was a story. I just came out from Jamaica, and so I did a set at the Triad Theater. My boy was doing a show, right? And I recorded it, and like I just told that story. Yeah. Like I haven't told those jokes again.
Yeah. Like part of me would be like, tell it, but it's like, nah, we got to go on the Instagram. And y'all gotta try, because bro, your material is phenomenal. And like I see the originality, which I feel like is something that I didn't realize how you can be so original. Like you could talk about the same topic 1,000 times in 1,000 different ways, and it'll be told 1,000 different
100%.
ways, and it won't sound the same, but it's the same premise, And I found that to be amazing, especially when I heard a lot of your material. I'm like, damn, you found a way to say that another way. Like, fuck, like that shit is genius. Like,
thank you, bro. I watch a lot of these comics, a lot of stand-up comics, And the reason I do that is because I want to hear the shit they're doing, so I know what I can't do.
Boom. Yeah, wow, like that. that's really a master of a student of the game in general.
Sure,
student now. You say that you watch a lot of stand up. Do you have a top 3 favorite?
For easy.
I need we need a top 5. I think
top five. That 5th one is always tough.
It is because you got to push people out, push people in.
Like even when you do them hip hop top 5s, that 5th one is always tough.
It's interchangeable.
We need a good top 5.
So the top 5, my top 5 is actually pretty easy.
Okay.
My favorite comic of all time, I think he's the greatest comic to ever touch a mic, and it's who people who've comics like Aaron Berg. Aaron Berg's first time ever called me this guy. Said that's who I remind him of. Patrice O'Neal.
Ooh, that's a good one. Elephant in the Room is one of my favorite specials.
That's a good one.
That's not even his best special.
Oh, I know.
You gotta check out Mr. P.
Well, I gotta see which one was that one. I'm trying to remember what he was wearing.
It's audio only. It's right before he died. And the thing about it is, it was him working out
material.
The special Mr. P.
Wow,
it's only audio.
Fully audio. It's on Apple Music, bro.
What year was that from? Because I know he died, what, like 09?
I know. So I don't know when it actually released. He died a little later in 09.
Oh, okay. I could assume.
I don't know exactly what year it released. I know on Apple it came out 2016.
Wow.
Okay.
But I think it was right before. So yeah, around that time. Yeah. And the shit is timeless.
Yeah, Patrice O'Neal is timeless. That's how I know when I could rewatch something from the 90s and the 2000s.
It's timeless.
I'm like, that's timeless. You know what I'm saying?
That's wow. Okay.
Okay, so we got Patrice O'Neal number 1. That's
Patrice
good
O'Neal.
One. I like that.
George Carlin.
George Carlin. Yes.
And the reason being,
I love George Carlin.
I had to because George Carlin wasn't even on my radar.
Right.
You know why? HBO Max had dropped his documentary.
Yeah.
Right? And I watched that shit.
Yeah, he's an old white man with the dirtiest vocabulary.
And then after I watched that shit, I was like, yo, this nigga
George Carlin got it.
This is different.
Right.
So now I went to go watch his material. He literally transformed himself. Like he evolved 3 different times. Like there are 3 different versions of George Carlin.
No fact.
And if you want me to be honest, I personally feel like, and people, there's older comics who have a complete different correlation to the history of their comedy. So, but I think he's the father of the way we currently do comedy today.
Damn.
You could talk about Lenny Bruce as well, but I really, really think that, and of course, Richard.
I was gonna say Richard. To me, Richard. Yeah.
I love Richard. I don't know why. Richard, and if I had to probably round up my top 5,
Richard Pryor,
right. he might get there.
Wait, hold on. So let's not get lost. Okay,
so
we're gonna give George Carlin the number 2 spot and call him the godfather of the way the current style of comedy. Okay.
3 Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. Louis C.K. was one of my first stand-up specials I've ever saw. It's Louis C.K. I think it was a live. I forgot what it was called, but it was when he was talking about suck a bag of dicks. That one. And then I saw fucking the Cat Williams shit. Not as pimping the shit with the Pimp Chronicles.
Pimp Chronicles.
Immediately after that, and I fell in love with comedy.
Cat Williams is very underrated.
Oh, for sure. He's one of my goats.
Yeah. He's in my top. He's definitely my top 10. He's in my top 5.
Right. So we
have 3.
So we had 3. Louis. I saw Louis change the way I do comedy. I went to go see Louis live.
Oh, that'd be fun.
At Levity. I also did that too.
Oh, you went?
I went to go see as many every high level comic I could see. I went to go see them live.
Yeah,
I had to experience that.
It is. That's an experience.
It's very, very different.
For sure.
So I went to go see him live. He was working out material for the new special he just dropped on his website.
Yeah.
He had Shane Gillis open up for him too.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Shane, that's you have to see you. That's a funny nigga. Shane Gillis is crazy. So yeah, Shane did 30 for him. Then he did 45. Damn. I was in the audience watching that, and I was like, this nigga's not trying to make people laugh.
He's not.
Bro.
He's trying to offend motherfuckers.
It's not even offend. He's trying to invoke emotion.
Yeah.
If you laugh, cool. If you cry, cool. If you get pissed off, cool. If you go in a deep thought, cool. But you know what you're not going to not do? You're not going to not listen to him.
You react. It's the reaction.
That's what he's looking for.
Damn,
it changed the way I do comedy.
That is actually wow. That's different. That's a whole different way
because
of thinking
I got
of
to see it. I got to look at it from an audience standpoint. My manager, her name is Betsy, is probably that's the backbone of my whole shit. I wish she was here. Backbone of my whole shit.
Shout out to Betsy. I wish she was here too.
Yeah. Shout out to Betsy, man. She actually, it's actually the anniversary of her mom dying. Is actually correlates to this.
Right.
Louis does a joke about how like, and I don't want to mess his joke up, but he was like, how you ever have a parent die and the parent that's living, you think to yourself, why couldn't it have been you?
That's fucked up. That's Louis C.K. for you.
Right?
That's Louis C.K. for you.
But she has a crazy relationship with her pops.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And so like you watched her go into deep thought when he said
and you're
that
looking
joke.
at this in live.
Mind you, across from her, there's this white boy who is laughing hysterically. And I'm not kidding you. At the same table, there's an older black lady who is completely mortified.
I just can't believe you just said
and
that.
I'm
shit.
sitting there like,
what the
this is how you do comedy.
That is that's actually golden. It's about evoking emotion.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good.
No matter
I'm
what
thinking
your
so many
emotion
gems
is,
right now. You don't even know.
You're going to tune into it. You're going to keep paying attention.
That shit changed everything for me, bro.
So all right, we got number 3, Louis C.K. Okay, number 4. You're surprising me right now too.
Number 4 is easier.
Okay.
Chappelle.
Okay, I'm like, all right,
Yeah,
cool.
okay.
Chappelle's up there for sure.
Yeah.
Listen,
I don't know if he's in my top 5 though.
He's definitely in my top
out of all of them, that's the one I've watched the most.
Yeah.
That's the thing though. But that also does not make me. I realize that might be who I watch the most and who I go to watch him. That'll make him the best to me.
The reason why he's top, because he has the greatest stand-up special I've ever seen.
Which one?
Personally, For What It's Worth.
For what it's worth.
Which one was that one?
That was the one in San Francisco when he had on the gray jacket.
He's smoking Sherm at the barbershop. When he smoked Sherm at the
No,
barbershop and turned to a penis.
No. That was the 30-minute HBO special.
Yeah.
No, For What It's Worth was Sex with a Monkey.
Oh yes. If you have said that's how 8 started this shit.
That is to me the most technically, and people will argue there's better specials. Cool.
Yeah.
To me.
Yeah.
Of course.
To me, that is from top to bottom the most technically great the ideas, like how old is the premises? How old is 15 really?
Yeah.
Grape drink.
Grape drink.
Like what?
Yo.
Yes.
He had some shit on there.
What?
I'm not gonna lie.
Are you serious? Yo, what's it called? Botox balls.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, you're right.
Like, son,
I've watched that Chappelle special at least 10 times.
I watch it once a month.
Literally, like
legit.
And no, his recent work, bro. That last one he dropped on Netflix. Bro, the way he evokes thought, the punch her in the pussy, kick her in the pussy, whatever and the way he tied that into the end.
The fact this nigga told, I remember watching that joke and I was like, I can't do that.
Right? Yeah, it's like, fuck.
You know what I mean?
It's like when Wayne rapped the alphabet. Like
I push myself writing wise, and then you hear him, and you're like, I can't do that.
And then take that and then make it relate at the end. Fucked me up.
Patrice said that shit too. Patrice was like, how these new comics like now is like before you would hear your goat and be like, I know I'm funny, but I can't do that. But these new comics are like, shit, I can do that.
Right.
It's like you really can't.
Yeah, no, it's different.
And
it's different.
What I like about Chappelle is that a lot of his stuff is controversial. You know.
Recently,
since he came back
became
from
a lot more conscious.
His hiatus, wherever he came back from his hiatus,
nigga, when you get kicked out the industry for 12 years, then you gonna come back and not give a fuck.
He came back. He came back
really not caring about nobody.
But he came back on some more fuck the system style.
Let me ask you a question. When's the last time you seen a Dave Chappelle commercial?
That's a really good question.
Never.
And you do know why? He has no sponsorship, so he's free. Wow. Kevin Hart talks about that.
So he can talk about whatever.
Kevin Hart says that Kevin Hart is worth damn near $1 billion.
Yeah.
Literally. And he tells he will if you talk to Kevin Hart right now, KevinArt will tell you he envies Dave Chappelle. Yeah, because he's free.
He is. You're so right.
And that's another side that people don't understand. Is where
listen,
when you have all these sponsorships and all these.
Artistic integrity is a real thing, bro.
I just thought about it. We still didn't even get through the list.
Oh yeah, we have
that was number 4. Right. Yeah, Dave Chappelle.
But I know you said this one can interchange.
Yeah.
So all right, so give me a 5 and then honorable mention.
All right, who?
Oh, I'll tell you. I like that.
So just to make it more fit,
5 and 6.
So number 5 is weird because like I took Biggie Smalls out of my top 5 hip hop artists for this very reason. But I can probably put this guy as number 5.
So not enough material.
Yeah. Eddie Murphy.
Ooh.
Eddie Murphy's the most talented comedian ever. Just pure talent. Just pure talent.
I see where you're going.
The stand up where he was wearing all orange,
or both of those.
All orange or all red?
It was all orange, and then he had the other. Was it red? It was like reddish orange. And
yeah,
then
the red. Eddie Murphy with the
and then
red
that was Delirious.
Yeah,
and then
Delirious.
you had
Raw.
And then you had Raw.
Raw and Delirious.
Raw was the first stand up I ever seen.
Yeah. That yes. He.
Yeah, it's like.
It's Eddie, man. Eddie really goes without having to even really be explained, though.
Yeah,
it's like when motherfuckers say Pac or Biggie. It's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, you feel me?
Like,
but
it's like, cool.
It's like
Jay-Z, cool.
To me, you have to explain when you don't put them in
exactly.
The top.
Yeah.
When people hear you not put Biggie, I'm like, Biggie is the most talented. Like, nobody was doing it, but then it's just not enough work.
And
and my honorable mentions would probably be, for me,
give us a couple. Fuck one. If you can give us 2, 3, we can do that.
Richard Pryor,
of
definitely.
course, Richard.
Yeah, Richard.
Because everybody is just doing a version of him now.
When you said George Carlin,
just so raw.
Yeah.
It was the Godfather of the style. I'm like, I felt like Richard Pryor, bro, because I'm watching things from the 70s. The ones that they have on Netflix when he, I think it was him and Aretha Franklin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Bro.
But that's just, I just think that's just more of a function of you listening to probably more black comedy.
I do listen to plenty of white comedy, though. Like,
you fuck
in
with
my top 5, Bill Burr's in my top 5.
Bill Burr, I like.
You know what I'm saying?
Bill Burr's great.
Tom Segura is my guy. Like Tom Segura, Bill Burr, Bert Kreischer. Like I listen to a lot of white comedians.
Okay.
Yeah.
You fuck with Stanhope?
Stanhope?
Yeah.
Nah, I gotta get Stanhope.
Tapped in. I don't even.
But I listen to a little bit of Neil Brennan. I know that's like Chappelle's right hand man.
Yeah.
Neil Brennan is deep.
Neil's a better writer than stand up.
I can see that.
And
I see
better
that.
writer than stand up.
And when you mentioned Eddie Murphy not have enough material, and it's funny because when you think of Eddie Murphy, nobody thinks of stand up.
Yeah, because he's so big.
That's what I'm saying.
They think coming to America.
Any other comic that you named beforehand, you think of comedian,
right?
When you think of Eddie Murphy, you think of
Eddie's a fucking rock star, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's a rock star.
Eddie,
he's a platinum selling Grammy winning artist.
The only person who's kind of doing stand up the way Eddie did it was Kevin Hart.
I swear, I said the same shit.
Like every time he breathed, it's an event.
Yeah,
like
literally. That's a good way to put it.
You feel me? Like Eddie was Eddie was in that rarefied era of the Princes and the Michaels. Like, there's a reason he could hang out with them niggas.
For
you
real.
Feel me? Like he was just that's different.
No, you're absolutely right.
It was just different. So it's like he transcended it. But if I'm just talking strictly stand up.
Yeah, stand up. Yeah.
He's just so talented. Like the ideas were great. The storytelling was amazing. He could do impressions with the best of them. He could just do it all.
You know, when I think,
he was controversial.
When I listen to Richard Pryor, though, and being that Richard Pryor was 10, 15 years before Eddie, when I watch his stand-up, and I'm like, bro, he's doing the talking conscious animal thing, where like he talks about his dogs like they're humans and give you that perspective. Every comedian does that to this day, damn near, bro. So when I see that, that's Richard. Like the super controversial racial thing. Like obviously that's gonna always be a thing, but like the way he tells the jokes and talking about the police and fuck the police and certain things, I'm like, bruh.
I would say this: Eddie Murphy would never say he's better than Richard Pryor. Right. It's kind of like Jordan don't talk about the guys who come before him.
Right.
So it's like I feel like Jordan is just a more polished version of Dr. J.
And that's Eddie Murphy.
I think that's what Eddie Murphy was.
That's a great comparison. That's what you did.
It's just a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have said. I can't. But then
so you could
use Kobe and Jordan. Whereas you could say Richard was a little bit he just had a little bit more it.
And he was the first one to transition into a super Hollywood star.
But I just think Eddie Murphy was a little bit more naturally talented.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's the opposite with Jordan and Kobe. Jordan was just more naturally talented. Kobe was just more refined.
More refined.
Yeah.
And fun fact, talk about controversial. The reason why you cannot curse on the radio is because of George Carlin.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, fun fact.
Did he fuck shit up like that?
George Carlin had a bit where it was 7 words you can't say. I think it was 7 words you cannot say on the air.
Yes. Bitch, faggot.
And he ran it on the list, ran it down. and it was causing so much uproar. Yeah. Around the nation, mothers and parents were complaining so much. It literally went all the way to the Supreme Court. Literally went all the way to the Supreme Court. And then on the other side, it's like, well, can you actually tell, good artistic stories without certain words and stuff? It went all the way to the Supreme Court, and they ended up that you can't say these words on the air, on the radio, and that's all because of George Carlin.
Wow.
Talking about
George Carlin shows why they try to control everybody who has influence.
Yeah. Yes. Very, very controversial at the time.
Yeah. Because you could move the people. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if you can move the people with your words, that's why I tried to kill Bob Marley. Like, you can control that's what made George Carlin so great. That's why what made Chappelle so great is going against the grain. Mm-hmm. And that's why I do comedy the way I do it. Mm-hmm. I don't, as much as you see me working, I don't get, mainstream clubs don't rock with me. Right. Mm-hmm.
Yet.
I'll be real. There's a couple mainstream clubs I'll probably never work in.
Is there a reason why? It sounds like you don't want to, like, at all.
Is this a style?
Yeah. It's like I do material about it. Like, I do jokes about how they don't market what I am anymore. Confident heterosexual black man. Like, so like when you come from that perspective, like Chappelle asked this question on Rogan. He was like, he wonders how Patrice O'Neal would fare today because he wasn't gonna back down.
Right. Yeah. Very. Especially in this culture, this day and age.
And that's what I deal with. I feel like. Yeah.
Well,
So I mean, so we got the honorable mention was Richard Pryor.
Richard Pryor.
Hey, let me get two more.
Yeah, Cat Williams.
Cat. Okay, Cat. Cat is definitely one of them. Cat is one of one.
Doug Stanhope.
Doug Stanhope.
No, Doug.
Doug Stanhope. Okay,
Yeah.
I gotta go check it. That's the second time we dropped it. We gonna have to find out about it.
I gotta tap in.
Stanhope is great.
And don't sleep on the female comedians either. I don't want to.
Female comics.
We can't.
So my favorite current comics working right now in the city, period, are females. Jordan Jensen.
Okay.
Adrienne Appalucci. She just opened up for Louis C.K. at Madison Square Garden. That's my favorite.
Crazy.
Wow,
that is my favorite comedian right now.
Yeah.
She does not give a shit.
I gotta tap in.
Adrienne Appalucci is great.
I'm gonna tap into all these people.
Some comics who you will hear about. Chanel Ali is a comic from Philly.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
I think she did a little segment on Kevin Hart's new show that he's been dropping on Laugh Network.
Yeah.
I think he had her on the Philly.
I had Chanel Ali did one of my shows when I at the Triad Theater.
Yeah.
Onika McClain is great. Glory Mora. Cherry Ann Trinidad. She just did Apollo.
Wow. That's dope, man. Because if you can put ass in seats, as they say, that's when you know you're doing something.
JJ Matisse is a beast.
Damn, now you know a bunch.
Yeah,
see, I'm sleeping.
You're
in the mix.
I work with these, so these are my personal.
I gotta tell you,
because I don't think a lot of females are funny, and they'll hate me to say Electra Telesford is hilarious. I mean, I don't really give a shit. Like that's. I'm gonna tell the truth. Like a lot of these comics aren't good.
Yeah.
It's a lot of the same bullshit that it's just the same redundant topic.
Yeah. You can definitely feel it. You can weed it out.
So there's great female comics, 100%. Yeah. I mean, without being, well, I'm a misogynist. I
am a misogynist.
I mean, I just think men just approach the art form from way more unique perspectives. Michelle Wolf is great. That's a famous comic that's good. Ali Wong is cool.
Ali Wong's cool, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I love Monique. Monique's style been
I hated her last special.
I didn't like the last one that much. It was cool though.
I thought it was 1000% hot garbage. Damn, hot garbage.
I feel like her older shit was cool though.
Monique was funny.
Sam J's funny as fuck. I fuck with Sam J.
Yeah, Sam J.
Sam J is funny.
Sam J is funny. Miss Pat.
What's the light skinned shorty name? She got the fucking.
Miss Pat is cool.
Fuck, what's her name? I don't want to mess up her name.
And I fucked. Even though I don't like the fact that she was trying to throw shade at Chappelle, she is still hilarious. Janelle James.
Janelle James.
She's from Abbott Elementary.
Oh yeah.
The principal from Alabama.
Yep,
but
I know
her
you're talking about,
stand-up is actually really.
I didn't even know.
She's funny.
I got to tap in.
So I mean, your stand-up career hasn't even had a 5-10 year run yet. So, you know, so it's early. But I seen you moving around. I see you in Minnesota performing. I seen you in other
Texas.
In Texas. Like, talk to us. Like, how different it is. 'Cause I know you said that the love in the comedian community is a lot different in like Minnesota, for example, where like you say you made more friends there in a couple of days than you ever did in New York.
Nigga really did it.
I told you I was checking your shit out. Yeah,
this shit's crazy. Nigga, God damn, this nigga. That's like nigga no. So that's my naiveness as well too. I'm starting to realize that's just how it is on the road.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Even when you get comics who come from the road here, they'll put them niggas on stage immediately. Like, oh yeah, come show love. But the reason being is because it's not consistent competition.
Right.
Comedy is one of the most competitive art forms I've ever been a part of. Yeah. The problem is it's run by losers. Right? So it's like
it's tricky.
So it's very passive aggressive.
Right.
It's very
come from a place like, if I don't like you, I want to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
You don't like
you can't punch somebody in the face, bro. You can't hit a nigga, bro. The minute you hit somebody, your career is done. Because now you are the angry black man.
Now you're blackballed.
You are the angry. No. He's very. Don't ever get labeled difficult to work with. It's over.
Yeah, I heard D. Ray Davis got that label. He talked about that when they stand-ups.
Yeah,
how they did him dirty.
With is a real fucking thing. Yeah, you feel me?
Yeah, that's tough.
So, yeah, man, like, but like when you go on the road, like when I went to Minnesota, I was fucking crushing, and they just was, yo, come do this show, do this show, come out here, yo, you're great, like you should come, like this is so much love, like that's why I had a comment. My last show I just did, in Englewood. Actually, Elite Art Only is my show series.
Elite Art Only.
Yeah.
Definitely tap into that back home.
We run it monthly. I do that out of the Green Room in Englewood. Although I'm gonna start doing it throughout green rooms all throughout the tri-state area.
Okay.
But I had a comic. Her name is Emma D. I met her in Minnesota. She came up, put her on the show.
What?
Wow.
She was yeah.
That's dope as fuck.
See, comedy, you travel like crazy. I didn't realize that. So yeah, I didn't realize that what it was either.
Yeah.
Audiences on the road, they come out to hear comedy.
Yeah. That's
very true.
It's a niche people like it's a very specific person who thinks I'm gonna go to a small comedy show, and that even like goes to like the Comedy Cells or like, you know, all the different comedy clubs. It's a niche group of people who go, but the people who go are truly like they're truly appreciative of comedy. They like the shit. So
that's what they want to hear.
Right, they want to hear. You know how hard it is to really decide. Yeah, it's Friday night. Is what I want to go do.
Because there's so much shit to do up here.
Exactly.
Yes.
There's so much shit to do up here. So it's like sometimes you'll get a person who didn't want to go to a comedy show. He just popped in because there was nothing else to do.
Yeah.
And then she happens to be a bitch.
Right.
So like she doesn't want to laugh at anything. Like she came there to be offended.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and then everybody's fake like.
Offended,
everybody's
offended everything, woke about everything.
Everybody.
When you go to Middle America, right? When you go down south, like that's really America. Like just like
I can't even at Texas. Scary.
Niggas are still racist.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's still racist up here. So
niggas are still homophobic, but it's out like it's in the open.
It's not.
And I like that shit.
That's a Confederate flag in your face.
Oh my God, it's just like nigga. That's good racism.
That good old.
That good
that racism.
That I know where you stand at.
I can recognize it. Like that. It's passive aggressive shit.
Yeah,
that's not it.
Those are the ones that come and bite you.
I can imagine.
Now,
you know what I mean?
Have you ever been
I
Austin?
just came back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you went in Texas.
So I went to Fort Worth.
Oh, okay.
First.
My dad lives near Dallas.
So I went out there with Berg. Right? So we shot an episode of Fort Worth, and then he headlined Hyenas. I got to open up for him.
Wow.
So without audience.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like you go out there and it's you destroy out there.
That's dope. Yeah. I think it's like
comedy's almost easy.
Yeah.
Out of New York City.
Yeah.
Like I do black rooms. Like if I tell comics, listen, I don't care, black, white, Puerto Rican, Spanish, Asian. If you want to get great at comedy, go to urban rooms, right, and let them niggas kick your teeth in. You will get sharp as shit.
You need that.
You will get sharp as shit. I used to run from them shits.
Yeah.
I used to not go to them shits.
No,
because you've heard my comedy. That's not normally what they want to hear.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Word, not
they want to hear that.
Because I've heard that like Joe Rogan's putting a lot of money into like Austin and turning that shit into a comedy city. Like,
yo, it's crazy.
Austin, really. Yeah.
So you go to the mothership. You have the Creek. I got to perform out there. Berg did Sunrise. You have Vulcan. And then what Rogan's doing is great. It's like he's not allowing everybody to just hang out at the comedy at the mothership. He's building the scene. So
exactly. He's building the whole scene out there.
If you have a spot at the ship, you got to go do your other spots first, right, and then you come to the ship. You're gonna like Hans Kim and Cam. I can't remember his fucking last name. They were hanging out at the Creek. They did their show at the Creek, their spots at the Creek, and then went to the ship. And these are Kill Tony regulars.
Yeah, that's
wow. I mean? That's crazy. It's like, and then that's the thing too. Like famous comedians aren't really famous comedians. You see them niggas all the time.
Yeah, they'll be
right
on the street.
Yeah.
Especially down by like Ludlow and McDougal where all those comedy sellers are. See, I didn't understand. There's like 3 comedy clubs within like literally a 2-block radius. And I realized like if you go online and try to look for the tickets, they're all performing multiple times that night. And I'm like, oh shit, this one dude is about to do 4 or 5 shows tonight. He's just gonna go club to club and then walk back and go to club to club. And I remember because there's like a creperie spot and 7th Street Burger. Shout out to 7th Street Burgers down there.
7th Street Burgers. Shout out to 7th Street Burgers.
That's my boy Kev shit. I
nigga, they discount comics, bro.
Word?
Yes,
that's dope.
Nigga, comics get 50% off.
Oh, that's fire. That's literally my boy. He started this shit. He had some shit called Diesel and Duke's Burger out here before.
Fire. Yo, nigga, that shit's ruining my life.
That's how you fuck up the 185-pound pandemic body.
So what really fucked me up is I tore my Achilles.
Ooh, ain't no working out. It's over.
I tore my Achilles. Honestly, now it's a blessing in disguise, yo. God's great. I tore my Achilles the end of November 21, right? Yeah. I just finished doing my my residency. I just got my residency at Broadway. And,
wow.
Yeah, that's dope. I was about to say, you're going to have to get into that.
Yeah. So, that was the second time I did Broadway Comedy Club. I did the industry room. I got the residency. I got like a 4 or 5 month residency.
Wow.
So, I'm crushing that, right? I tear my Achilles in November, right? So, now I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
This is where shout out to Betsy Kirian, shout out to my girl Kiara, shout out to... They literally didn't let me stop.
Wow.
Yeah, you need those people.
You got a good team around you. That's what it's about.
I was still getting out to do shows, but why tearing my Achilles was fire is because
not fire.
Nah, what?
Blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
First of all, I remember my boy Kingsley said it. I kept telling him I want to do comedy full time. So I was still training and doing comedy. And I was like, I want to do comedy full time. And then he's like, all right, you got what you asked for. Damn. So now I had to get real dope with my actual writing. So I stopped writing. Yeah, I don't write.
Now you freestyle.
I don't really freestyle per se.
They're thoughts that are in the bank.
And then so like once I get them out, make sure I record everything, right? And then that's how I work through it. And that's how I've been able to amass material so fast.
Wow. Just like Lil Wayne, feel me? He don't technically write down, but it's all up here.
And you just constantly work through the concepts. You talk through the concepts. I work on material. It can be annoying, but I work on material and conversation with people, and they won't even realize it. You know what I mean? Just
for sure. I swear. That's why I feel like I need to get into that shit though, because I be saying things or I get on my Instagram and I'm like, that was damn near a stand-up bit that just did 3 minutes. I'm like, okay, I know how I can move this around. Just getting a couple laughs in my DMs makes me feel like the world.
Biggest thing I'll tell you about stand-up, if you really want to get into it, because number one, you're gonna understand too, if you're really good at it early, you're gonna get hated on tremendously.
Of course.
Because a lot of people operate from a scarcity mindset, and then they also try to put their journey on you. So if it took them 6-7 years to be able to amass 30 minutes of material or 30 minutes of good material, they expect you to do that. So they will intentionally hold you back.
You gotta be careful.
That's a lesson right there.
This is a true story. Aaron Berg. So I was telling you, we started doing Street Famous. He actually left Gas Digital because we started doing Street Famous, which I feel like I'm being punished for, to be honest with you. You ever been to the Stand?
No. The Stand is a club?
Yes, one of the best. You have to, if you love it, you will love it there.
I'm definitely gonna have to go.
It's a great. They don't fuck with me there.
But you definitely gotta go.
But it's a great, and I'm being real because
that's real. That's truth right there.
Right. Amber got me a spot on this show on Mondays called Frantic, right? it's true story. He'll co-sign it. He's called me Patrice on his pod before, right? So he'll even if he doesn't, it's true.
Take my word for it.
I did Frantic, right? Mm-hmm. I'm gonna drop that set on my Facebook too.
Yeah, that's fine.
I did Frantic and destroyed. I'm like 9 months in at this point. This is in August, last August.
Yeah.
Right. I destroy to the point where the night manager comes up to me. Was like, "Yo, you might have had the best set tonight." And I'm talking about these are national headliners in there, right?
Wow.
So after the show, Berg comes up to me and goes, he texts the booker, said, "Andre, you need to take a look at him." All right. The following day, the following day I come there and this is the first time we shoot Man on the Street together, but it's still in the guys Berg's base. We shoot Man on the Street together, and the booker ends up being there, right? So he's like, wait, did you meet him yet? I was like, nah. So he introduces me to him. He goes, yeah, this the guy I was telling you about. Yeah, young Patrice O'Neal right here. All right? Wow. We should take a look at him. Says he's gonna look at me for an interview, for an audition the following month. I have not been invited back to that club since.
Damn. So you think that's the thing? Like he's like, yo, this guy might be too good. Like
that's the thing. It's too early because I was naive and didn't tell. Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know I should have. I should have just been like, I've been doing it for 5-6 years.
Yeah, because you're so new.
At that point, I was like a year and a half in. Yeah, I say I was a year and a half in at that point.
Since the pandemic, just happened.
Yeah, I'm taking notes right now.
Yo,
100%. If you really, if you dead ass want, I'll show you how to. I'll show you what works for me.
Yeah.
I don't have a universal structure. Like I just tell people, like, people ask me like, yo, what's your? I was like, yo, I'll show you what works for me.
Yeah.
I give you ideas that I think can help you if I hear it. But if you really get it and you click, yeah, keep that shit to yourself.
Hey, it be like that. Sometimes you gotta play dumb, or you know.
It's like now it's too late because everybody knows it, and like Berg was dope and just told me to like, own it.
Yeah,
like because he. Now. Well, I rock with him like because he never did that. Like he never like. I remember I did a pod episode, the first episode I did with him, and like we did it with a particular. I'm not gonna say the comic's name. But like when he heard how long I've been doing it, I watched his energy change.
Yeah. His whole energy,
I can imagine though because comedy is definitely one of those things where like you gotta. It takes time to become great. Yes. Like some of the best stand-up comedians is the reason why they're in their 50s, 60s. Like they've aged because you need experience in life in order to create material.
Yeah, but you have comics who are great early.
Of course, yeah.
And I cannot be honest with you. You're never going to master the craft. You're always going to keep getting better. But you can come in at a different level. I only think that it takes that long because it was created that way by the powers that be. That's how you keep people in line.
Yeah.
If you filter them through a certain process, right, you can always control the process. And you can control who you push and who you don't push.
That's a really good point right there.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a really right. That's a really good point.
You know how many great, like I'll joke about it. I joke about it this way. I was like, when LeBron James came into the league, Brian Scalabrine was in the league for 9 years. There was never a point in time when LeBron James was in the NBA that Brian Scalabrine was a better basketball player than LeBron James.
Ding. That is a great fucking point, right? You got to recognize your talent when you guys what you got. It's like,
and then at the same token, there's a lot of people, even his teammates. Before when he was a rookie. When LeBron was a rookie.
Yeah, they hated him. Don't you mean he's starting over me? This nigga's 18.
They were like, you guys won 20 games last year. How you guys think you do with the rookie, with LeBron? Well, he's a rookie.
Playoffs.
Bro.
That's the same thing. It's the same thing.
It's a thing, bro. It's a thing. I didn't know that like the concept of following a comic is a thing. Like if you have a comic who comes on stage and kills, the way it works is you have to be able to follow that.
Right, right. Or that could kill you. Right. There's a lot of people that people don't get behind, Like you don't want to
have it. So to this day, I have that issue now. Like I know who I can't like. I don't like following Aaron Burr.
Yeah.
I don't like to do it.
It's like I gotta keep up with too much, right?
It's hard as shit. It's hard as shit. That's probably one of the only comics I can confidently say that about.
Yeah, that's dope though.
I'll follow anybody else, bro.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who don't like to follow me.
I was about to say, yeah, that'll make you once again, that'll make you get too blackballed where like people don't want to follow up behind you.
Yeah,
because I know there's like a lot of comedians that never really took all the way off, like a TK Kirkland that never really had that moment. Right. Patrice O'Neal never really had that moment.
TK is doing real great for himself though, because he produces all his own.
Right, he's independent.
He never wanted no management, so he can control his own joint.
Yeah, I buy all his specials because I know it's going right into his pocket.
And I'll say this. They said it. I think Roseanne Barr said this shit. She was like, you can either be successful or you could be great.
Wow.
In this comedy game.
Now, do you have anything coming up you're excited about?
Yeah, man. So right now, so first of all, I rock on the I'm on a great podcast called Street Famous NYC.
Yeah, Street Famous.
Please check that out.
Please check that shit out. Support us on Patreon. We have to put it on Patreon because they don't monetize us anywhere else.
Because y'all talking crazy.
Wild shit.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But it's the funny. I promise you, some of the funniest shit you gonna see, bro.
Have to tap in. I don't have the Patreon, so I'm
not it's nothing scripted. It's fire shit, bro.
Yeah.
So we're doing that. We're actually going to the Philadelphia Comedy Festival next weekend.
Nice.
We're gonna film out there. I'm actually my lead art only showcase. I'm aiming for September 30th, which is a Saturday. Green Room, that's coming up as well.
Okay.
I'm getting ready to record another 30 minutes, a brand new 30-minute called John Redcorn. I told you I was dealing with a married woman for 4 years. So I'm going to use that as a way to give you my unique scape on relationships, what I learned from it, and just give you guys different, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's more so, it's not giving you the full chronology of the actual story, but it's using it to show how I became who I am now.
Right.
Yeah, I mean?
That's dope. I'm looking forward to tapping in because I definitely want to purchase the material, because that's one thing you got to do is make sure you support your favorite comedians by purchasing it, especially when you can get it direct, like Patreon or on their websites. You know, like you just put me on that. Louis C.K. just dropped a stand up on his website. I'm gonna go watch that. Like
you can get 6 of his stand ups for $10, bro.
That's fucking ridiculous.
That's what he does. Like, so it's exclusive. Genius. It's genius. If you go to his shows, he flashes his shit nonstop. It's like propaganda.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
Bring
shit.
the money directly to this pocket.
Yeah,
Shout out to
like,
Netflix and all that, but
I don't want to be. I don't want to be famous, man. I want to be rich. Yeah. And then I'm actually working on my actual full brand new hour. Right.
Okay. Perfect.
I'm torn on the title. Right. So I'm not gonna share the title here yet.
Yeah, that's all right.
No problem. No problem.
That's all right. People gonna have to follow in and listen.
Yeah, but that I'm gonna probably that's gonna come early next year. I was aiming this year, but like. I really want to take some time with this one because and really because in this next year I want to tour that. Like I really want to the connections I made on the road. I want to tour that actual hour. So
yeah, that's dope, man. Listen, I'm looking forward to all the material you dropping, man. Listen, if you don't know the Instagram one time for people is
Andre 2999.
Oh, almost 3K. I get it.
Almost 3K.
I get it.
2999.
Okay. Listen, man. Andre Myrie, bro. Thank you so much for stopping by, bro. You dropped so many gems on the person. I know me. I want to personally one day do stand up comedy. I want to try it. So you just dropped so much gems, bro. We appreciate you greatly for stopping by, bro.
Wonderful outlook. Thank you so much.
Nah, man, thank y'all for having me, bro. I would love to come back too.
And we gotta get some follow-ups, right? Because I know you're gonna succeed a lot.
Check out the podcast, NYC podcast.
Please.
Street Famous NYC.
Street Famous
on Patreon,
man. If you want some, it's on YouTube. We have our best of clips on there.
Yeah. Okay,
so you can check it out.
Yeah.
If you watch the best of, you're gonna go get the Patreon.
Yeah, that's dope.
Hilarious shit. If you're not somebody who's offended easily,
of course.
Yeah, but that's comedy. You know what I'm saying? If you're not offended, it's a comedy.
Is it? And that's the last point. I feel like a lot of things is like, especially in this culture, like a lot of comics are walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they feel like they can't say certain things. They don't want to offend certain crowds or whatever the case may be. And it's changed so much. But I feel like at the end of the day, if you're not doing that, is it really comedy? I feel like comedy has to be on edge. It has to be controversial. That's my.
You seen the theater symbol? It's. One face is smiling, one face is frowning.
That is, the yin and yang. The yin and yang.
I didn't even think about that. Laugh now, cry later. We gonna figure that out.
Yeah,
wow, that's crazy. It's just evoke emotion. That's crazy.
Can't wait to have you back on the show.
Can't wait to have you back. Listen, man, I see bright future for you. I already know you're gonna go up, bro.
Y'all are dope. Yo, Y'all are dope as shit at this shit, bro.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Y'all are easy as hell to talk to, bro.
I appreciate it, bro.
Thank you for coming, though.
We're definitely planning on growing, man. We'll be shadowing each other's growth, and I'm gonna definitely be keeping up with you. You know what I'm saying? So,
like I said, if you want to ever interview more comics, man, I'll filter them over
hell
you, bro.
Yeah, what? That'd be fire. I get to talk more comedy. Hell yeah,
absolutely.
Trust me, I'm here for it. We didn't talk about half the comedians that I really listen to on a daily basis because I work all day and all I do is listen to comedy.
Bro, if we'll tap in off air, man.
No, for sure.
If you really want to get in,
I'm gonna talk to you. But listen, man, it's been the Free Gems Podcast, episode 79. Andre, again, bro, thank you so much.
Thank
y'all make sure y'all go follow, subscribe, go get the Patreon, go do what you can to support. You know what I'm saying? Check out the material first and foremost. I promise you, you're gonna want to subscribe.
Almost 3K. Remember that name.
Right. Thank you, bro. And we gone.
We out of here.
Thank you, man. Y'all was dope as shit.
Nah, thank you, bro. For real.
This is fire, man.
Yo.